Today in Washington, President Obama signed a child nutrition bill to ensure that all American kids eat healthier.
Listen to the lemons.
It is called No Child with a Big Behind Will Be Left Behind.
That's amusing. Did you know, though, and this got no attention, that not only did it put in the new nutritional guidelines, but it vastly expanded who we, the taxpayer, feeds, what kids are eligible.
No, I didn't know
So
this.
now even more kids are going to eat for free, all their meals at school, and then all summer long and on breaks. The government is feeding us all. We are, more and more of us, being dependent on the government to feed our children.
Well, and we found out recently, right, that you can take your kid to get fed by the school. But it's not at the school. It's under the school lunch program.
Right.
Even when school's not in session, and even if your kid doesn't go to that school. So we basically have a government program to feed all children.
Right.
And that's
all
what,
the time.
And that's what people who believe the way Barack and Obama and Michelle believe. I mean, if you're on that side of the political aisle, I guess you believe that's a good idea. You like the idea of government-controlled feeding all kids, because then it will be strictly controlled as to what they eat, because you don't trust parents to make their own decision.
Well,
and you either, like we were saying, you either believe that or you don't.
You think it's a better country if the government feeds people's children than if they feed them themselves. It's an astounding difference in philosophy. $4.5 billion Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act. Better nutrition, blah, blah, blah. Bill calls for nutrition. You know what's funny is all these stories are about the nutrition of it, and none of them mention the expansion of the program.
I watch MSNBC most mornings before I come to work, see what they're talking about. And Mika Brzezinski, who's on Morning Joe, she talks about this all the time. She's a big believer in the government has got to take over feeding kids because you can't trust parents to make their own decisions.
Great.
Well, what? I don't know where you think that's going to hit. Are there parents out there that feed their kids crap? Yeah, lots of them. But you got to allow that to happen. You just have to in a free society. Or where are you headed once we've all become convinced that every decision is made by the government for us?
Do you understand that freedom is messy and it's supposed to be? Do you understand that freedom includes failure and it has to? If you can't accept that, you need to say to yourself, I'm against freedom. Because you can't just be for freedom when it ends well. That's fanciful. It's childlike. It doesn't exist.
It's like the example of we have bridges now that have a sign there that says, don't jump off the bridge. You could get hurt. What we will become after that over a period of time is, well, I don't see a sign saying I can't jump off the bridge, so it must be okay.
Exactly.
We no longer take any responsibility for our own decisions. And if there are families out there that are going to raise really, really unhealthy kids because they eat really, really bad, I suppose that'll get taken care of over generations versus the families that raise healthy kids.
The $4.5 billion bill increases the federal reimbursement for free school lunches. Free.
It's not free. It's not free for me because I'm paying for them.
If you're it's free for the recipient, yeah, but they're not free. By 6 cents a meal at a time when many school officials say they can't afford to provide the meals. The bill will also expand access to free lunch programs and allow 20 million additional after-school meals to be served annually in all 50 states.
And these are meals that you don't get necessarily at the school, and you don't have to be a student at the school. So the fact that it's part of the school lunch program at all is just a scam.
Right. Well, it's a convenient time to deliver the free government meals to kids because they're there. And
we successfully, for better or worse, removed the shame of taking the free meal instead of paying for it. Because when I was a kid, you didn't want to be one of the couple of kids in the school that were on the dole. You didn't want to be getting the free lunch. You wanted to be providing your own. Your parents wanted to be known as, I pay for my kids. I'm not the one that needs government help to pay for my kid's meal. Now we've eliminated that as you shouldn't feel ashamed at all that you're taking meals from the government.
You can't provide for your children. Used to be the most mortifying charge that existed. I mean, it was above animal rape.
And I guess because we all felt bad for those families,
Certain groups of people did.
We've worked really hard to eliminate any shame of that of any kind.
So now you've enabled people to not be able to feed their kids or not even try. It's fine. It's fine. If you don't understand how that changes the organism's behavior, you're a fool. Don't vote. Please don't vote. God. You've eliminated negative repercussions.
I gotta believe.
What do you think's going to happen?
I gotta believe my dad would have sold his plasma to avoid us being, we have to have the special. I think it was we all had red lunch coupons that you bought, or you had a special pink one if you were getting it for free in finger quotes, and you didn't want to be the dad can't afford to pay for your meal kid.
I remember when Judy and I had 2 babies, and we got canned there in Charlotte years ago, Jack and I. I was so desperate. There was one clinic I used to donate my blood and semen at the same time, which takes incredible focus. I mean,
you got to feel
mental
sorry for
discipline.
Got to feel sorry for that phlebotomist.
Yes,
is that a person who takes blood?
Well, yes, yeah.
They had to turn an eye. Look
God.
away.
I don't want to see this. Make a fist.
I've got a fist in both hands.
Make another fist. But I kid. God dang it! I tell you what.
So we expanded the school lunch program under the guise of kids eating healthier food.
Right.
1, another transfer of wealth.
Yes.
2, government taking control of nutrition decisions.
3,
that's not a good
removing more responsibility from more parents.
Interesting.
How do you think this is going to end? God dang it. As I said earlier in the show, it's incredibly easy if you appeal to people's sympathy to get something passed, because people analyze less when you appeal to their sympathy. And as I said earlier, when somebody is appealing to your sense of poor downtrodden children, or we need a green California, or whatever, don't analyze less, analyze more. That's tool number 1 of the scammer. Why do you think there's so many phony charities out there? Because people turn off their critical faculties when you appeal to their sympathies. Don't analyze less when somebody appeals to your soft side. Analyze more, because they know what they're doing, including those who want a bigger, stronger, more controlling government. They always appeal to your sympathies, and B, your sense of fear. Always those 2 things. Wake up, America.
Just got a text. I forgot my lunch one day, and I was so humiliated. They made me have a free lunch. Nobody now would think twice about that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a huge cultural change. So this all started with a tale wherein Obama browbeat a fat staffer to have a salad in front of people, even as the staffer said, no. Kelly in Los Gatos has a quick comment. Hey, Kelly.
Hi, how are you doing this morning?
Good, glad you called. Go ahead.
I just thought it'd be an appropriate retort to say, excuse me, sir, when you give up the cigarettes, I'll eat the salad.
Yeah, hey, what about the cancer sticks there, Smokey? That would have been a good
no human
comeback.
Has the right to impart that type of shame onto another one. The only perfect humans are the ones you don't know. So just because you don't happen to know what their particular failings are doesn't mean they don't have them.
But if I know what's good for you, Kelly, why shouldn't I tell you and indeed force you to do that? Because then you'll be better off.
Yeah, but it flies in the face of their evolutionary social Darwin kind of thinking, because if I'm that stupid, then I'll be off of their responsibility roles very shortly.
All right, thanks. I appreciate the call very much. We do. Jack, may I speak with you?
We got a bunch of texts about that. You smoke, but you get to tell me to eat a salad.
Yeah.
It's like the old, who's the insulting comedian from back in the day?
Don Rickles?
None of you young people would know who he is. Don Rickles.
What is this, the olden days?
Actually, virtually every kid knows who he is. He's Mr. Potato Head in the Toy Story movies.
Well, he probably wasn't a foul-mouthed, cynical nightclub act in that cartoon.
Semi. The character is Rickelsian.
Well, one of my favorite Don Rickles jokes is he'd be walking through the aisle and he'd stop and he'd look and he'd put his hand on a guy's shoulder and he'd say, "Look, I'm a friend. Lose some weight." I think that's funny. But but it's funny because it's so insulting.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Barack Obama did to that guy.
Yeah.
It's exactly what he did. He did the Don Rickles joke. "Look, I'm a friend. Lose some weight. Here's a salad." Are you kidding me?
All right, I want you to do this and call us. Think about...
Pick out your fat friend.
Pick out a fat friend. Shove a salad in front of them. No.
Or spouse. Try it with your husband or wife.
Seriously, here in California, because we have listeners across the political spectrum, and God bless you for that. We appreciate that. I'm glad there's something you enjoy, whoever you are, whatever you believe. If you really like the San Francisco law with the Happy Meals, if you really like all the so-called nanny laws, do you understand that freedom to exist has to include the freedom to fail? And it's messy and it's ugly. Can you accept the ugly side of freedom? If you can't, say out loud wherever you are, you know what? I don't like freedom. I'm against freedom. I'm anti-freedom. And then call us and admit you said it. 1-866-331-TALK.
Those of you who are Zoftig, I suggest you eat a salad for lunch. I'm telling you what to eat.
Or go to ArmstrongandGettyRadio.com and enjoy Nigel Rotund's A Portly Christmas. And make a donation to the Military Families Association, which does brilliant work helping out the wives and kids and soldiers that we're all thinking about these days.
That's available for download at ArmstrongandGettyRadio.com.
It's better than this.
You are listening to the Armstrong and Getty Show.